everybody! It's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome to a new LP. This is Unraveled. Well, Unravel. You want to say Unraveled, but it's not. It's just Unravel. So, yeah, this was made by EA in Coldwood. And I failed to record my first episode correctly. We didn't pop any trophies or anything, so let's start a new game. And yes, we are sure. Alright. So here's our character. We're made of yarn. We can move back and forth. Now, I will say this, before we start this, I want to talk about, so the kind of the way this game works is it's a puzzle platformer, that's kind of about, storytelling, right? And here's the thing, when you first start this game, there's the statement about what they were kind of going for and the emotions that they were trying to convey. And one of the things that really hits me and has hit me while playing this game, which, by the way, this is a photo album. All the photos are broken and stuff, and that will be changing as we go. So, but it's always here. This is always where you'll restart after a level, is right here on this table. But one of the things is that I think, you know, as I grow older, because, you know, right now I'm over 40. Themes like kind of aging and loss and memory really hit me in ways that I don't think that they could have when I was 20. Because I'm not in bad shape. There's nothing wrong with me or anything, but you know, when you're 40, you know you're not 20. Right? I mean, I don't know how to say that, but like, you know, bits of me aren't working quite as well as they used to, and you know, I have aches and pains, and you know, I got varicose veins on some of my, like, in some areas and stuff. And it's just like, just things like that. And like, I exercise and I take care of myself, and like, I'm not in any kind of bad shape. But you know, you don't see yourself age when you're 20, 25, you know, unless you see yourself growing older, like becoming an adult. The process feels a little different on this end, and I feel a little different about it. I'm not complaining. I don't want to go back to being 15 or anything. So, all of our levels, anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. So, like, we'll probably talk a little bit more about that as we go. But, so these are our levels. They look like photos. The sea is the second level. Barry Meyer is the third level. But for right now, we have to go into Thistle and Weeds. So, every level we go into has a specific trophy for some achievement in the level. And there will be story-related trophies in the level. And then there's also a trophy for getting through every level in the game at least once without dying. And we're going to have to replay levels for that, I'm sure. So anyway, so this is Yarny. I actually believe that that's the name. He's afraid of bugs. Or she. I don't know. See, there you go. Scared of bugs. You'll see those kind of reactions as things go on. Now, if you notice, the torso of our character here is becoming really thin. Like, yarn is literally coming out of this character as they're running. And there we go. When you get to a certain distance, you run out of yarn and you can't move further. But we can use R2 to lasso things, pull them down, and then there's this spool of yarn, and now we've got more yarn. You'll jump higher and farther if you run. Yeah, you're kind of going to be running all the time. Now, to get over these things, we can move them around by holding circle. I mean, if you're not holding circle, you can still push them. You just can't pull them without holding circle. And the idea of this is we just... Alright. Yeah, L2 lets us climb back up our yarn tail, I guess is what it's called. We just need to get these things close to one another so we can jump from one to the other. There we go. Now we're past our first set of movable obstacles. And yeah, and so we have this lasso with R2, you jump, swing. It's easy. Fall down here and you want to go back, you hold L2 and you climb back up. Try again. You can die in this game. And then as we go, we'll be seeing these memories. Right? And then collecting them. Like so. Alright, we can climb surfaces that are shiny. We lasso that. Get ourselves there. And now we're going to go through a little tutorial about making yarn bridges. And the way it works is you can tie yarn off with a square button. And if you tie it between two areas like this, you make a bridge. If you climb up on that bridge and you hold down and let go, you get slingshotted. So now, it wants us to make another yarn bridge here, but instead of doing that, what we're going to do... And I'm holding L2 to keep from free falling all the way down. We're just going to go over here. Lasso these weeds and yank them down. And behind them is this thing. And this is a secret. There are 5 secrets in every level. Boom. That's the first secret of the first level. And now we can climb all the way back up. I love how this game is designed. So like the yarn's going back into us. Now, one of the things I want to talk about. We'll talk about this. This will become important a little later. But, so if you notice, like this is where we're standing and our yarn tail is behind us. And if we run over here, and we tie off the yarn here, and we go back to make a bridge, you see how we've used twice the length of yarn? Because our yarn tail has to go all the way to the right and then come all the way back. If we set it up like this, we use less yarn. And that's not an issue in this particular section, but it will actually, as early as next level, it will be an issue. This is, by the way, this is part of it. This is like, this is a subtle tutorial showing you that objects you can move around can be on yarn bridges. Which is a nice touch. Now, we can lasso things and then climb up the lasso, tie things off, and then we could let some string down and we could swing, jump and lasso again, climb back up. And there's nowhere to stand here, but if we tie a yarn bridge, now we've got a place to stand. Pretty clever design for a game, actually. Alright, holding the left analog stick keeps... Like, you can actually rappel down surfaces like this, if you want, but it just keeps you from falling the entire way. Oh, we can't get past here without holding down and hitting X. Okay. Yeah, and so now we can hold L2, and you can just, like, swing down like this, and you can climb down your own yarn tail. Well, or climb, I mean, essentially, just letting out your innards. Now, I learned, in my last video that there's a, see, there's a puzzle coming up, and there's a far easier way to solve it than the way I had been doing it. So, I'm going to do that. And I'm sure it's intended, actually. So what you do is, you tie a thing here. Yeah, and it'll tell you that the whirling lights mean that's a continue point. But, now what we want to do is, we're going to take all these apples, and we're going to just push them this way. Right up our yarn bridge. And we're going to push them all into here. Because this pit is going to fill with water, and if you can't platform across it, you'll die. However, I have been doing it with just this one apple, and didn't think about the fact that I could bring all the apples over here. So anyway, once we try to lasso this, that will fall, and then this will fill with water. And clearly it's meant to hold this many apples. I mean, this is like the intended strategy for this. And I just never realized it because there was already an apple in here, and I was like, oh, I can do this on just one apple. It's hard! They roll! See how this one's rolling? But anyway, we just gotta get to where we can jump out. And if you ever get stuck, hold down to restart a session. I have done that. I have held down to restart a session because I was... There's a puzzle later that will be horrible. Now, the game subtly tries to trick you here. What it makes you think you need to do is go pull this handle. And you do, but before you do that, you might as well just... So I guess it doesn't try to trick you. It doesn't really stick you somewhere. But anyway, there's a spool down here. And you will run out of thread if you don't get this spool, I think. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time doing this game wrong on purpose to see what doesn't work. So there we go. This gives us a nice little platform. Jump up here. Oh, you can actually make that without lassoing. Oh, you can't! Oh, that's so clever. But you could always just jump back up. Do this. And down here, underneath these sunflowers, some weeds we tear down. And there's a secret. Alright, sunflower platforming complete. Alright. Some more weeds to pull down. Now we got this tricycle. We could just yank it over here. There we go. And now we've moved it, now we can use it as a platform. There'll be a lot of that in this game. Moving things so that you can use them as platforms. Oh wow, I was like stuck there for a second. Alright, so our third secret is actually over here. We can see it up in the rocks. Just above us. And there's probably an easy intended way to get that, but what I've been doing is I get hooked up here and then just try to guesswork it. Although, okay, I couldn't make that work in my first attempt at recording this, where you fall down here and it works, but you can kind of slingshot your way in there. That is a thing that can be done. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Quit getting stuck in there, man. Seriously. So this is basically, this just wants us to go all Indiana Jones. Oh, did I seriously mess it up? I did, I didn't make it far enough. Well, whatever, we can always try again. This game is incredibly forgiving that way. And there we go. We can let out some string and get a better glide, and there, we easily made it that time. And there we go! Kid in a treehouse. I had a treehouse when I was a little kid. Huh. Weeds. There we go. Pull them down. Alright, so when we come back, we'll be finishing up the level Thistle and Weeds. I will see you guys for that. Bye, everybody.